What would you say if I could offer you a job today that offered you twice the pay for half the work? Corrosion technical careers are rewarding, and they're really in high demand. Corrosion technician jobs are very high paying, and people are always looking. When I say high demand, to give you an idea, one of the reasons they're in such high demand is that so many corrosion professionals are going into retirement. You guys see a lot of these NACE inspectors, a lot of them are in their 50s and their 60s, some of them are even in their 70s. There aren't a lot of young guys coming up, so a lot of these guys are leaving, and that's leaving this gap that right now isn't being filled. So there's huge demand for coatings inspectors. Coatings inspectors, CP technologists, just people in the field of corrosion and corrosion inspection. As a matter of fact, NACE International says that 44% of corrosion technicians are expected to retire in the next 3 to 7 years. So literally in the next 3 to 7 years, about half of the formerly trained coating job openings are going to be empty, and they're going to be looking to fill those jobs. And the reason that people are retiring is they've made their money. These are very high-paying jobs. And what I put up here, NACE conducted an annual, every year they do a salary survey. And for those of you who don't know what NACE is the National Association for Corrosion Engineering. And they put together a lot of the training, they make a lot of the laws and the standards, but they also put out these salary surveys every year. So they get an idea, everybody, what you get paid, how many years experience you got. I've got some facts up here for you. And if you look, it said that the average salary, this is just the average overall salary in the U.S. this year, or 2013 last year for professionals, was $103,000 a year. And that's actually up. In 2012, it was $98,000 a year. On top of that, the average salary, high school education here at $90,000, so people that have formal training at $90,000. People with less than 2 years of experience with these certifications average $102,000. On top of it being high paying, the work offers the best of both worlds. You guys see how hard I work, and you see how hard some of these other QCs work, and it's not very hard. It's not very labor intensive. It can be. It's kind of a good hybrid because you get the outside experience. You're here, you're climbing, you're inspecting, but then on top of that, you're in the office. So you're getting both that indoor work and that outdoor work. So some of you guys that want to break off your tools, but at the same time you don't want to sit in a cubicle 40 hours a week, it's rewarding in that sense. Corrosion technicians require minimum training for entry-level work. Most of the certifications, the technical certifications we talk about, generally have about 3 to 4 levels, and each one of those levels are about a week apiece. For example, the NACE coating inspection program, you have a week as a level 1, and then you'll train a week as a level 2, and then you go through a peer review. CP cathodic protection, those guys have 4 levels, and each one of their levels is a week-long course. There's another organization called SSPC that trains professionals in bridge corrosion. Their course is a week long. So the week's kind of the standard for each level.
40-hour course.
40-hour course. And
I've seen some of the inspector classes on that SSP for like 16 hours.
yeah, and a lot of them are even shorter. As you can see, you're not going and getting bachelor's degrees. I mean, it helps, but guys with just high school education and these certifications are getting, average salaries of $90,000 a year. I have a high school education, and I do okay because of my certification for state.
Oh, don't say do okay.
You're doing great.
Experience, like I said, here again, you go out, you get it. It's not like you've got to sit there and work at it 10, 15 years like some other careers in order to get a reward. These numbers come from people with 2 years or less of experience in the industry.
Well, I have a question.
Time for me and Eddie to go do this.
Basically, with minimal training, you can do this. You
Now,
guys could be on your way.
How much does the average course cost?
Well, that was my question.
$2,000.
Anywhere from $1,500 to $1,600 per course.
But you don't make that back, like, I mean.
It's also very low
What's
cost.
the requirement?
Shit, you don't make
To
that
be able to
back.
take a course, you get a
Yeah,
certification.
you gonna make that
require
back.
you to have
Yeah.
X amount of field experience? Do they require anything prerequisite?
Some of them don't. That's why I say when you get in, it's with very little. Some programs do, but most of the programs, if you read the book, at the lower entry levels, you don't need that
Why don't
technical
you
knowledge.
bring us
Most
some
of
books
it's
so we
all
can make
pictures in
copies?
the books.
Well,
Different levels of
Can you get
blasting,
information?
different levels of fucking corrosion.
With,
all that stuff.
with minimal training, you can be on your way to fulfilling a high-paying career in an ideal work environment.